Hey everyone, I'm Katsumi Maki. First, I will be going over some housekeeping, but if you're here for Toontown, please skip ahead to this timestamp or use the chapter features that I made to bounce ahead. Here's the housekeeping. I keep delaying the My Little Pony video. I wanted to work on a custom VRChat model for it, and the video is suffering through scope creep. However, as you noticed, I was able to make a few videos between first teasing the MLP video and now. One video was an entry to a contest, VidSomewhere held by DJontheFM, and I'll update my entry's description once they hold their viewing of all the submitted videos, so you may watch the contest or just look up DJontheFM on YouTube. Most recently, I made a chill music video inspired by Alan Watts, especially the chill songs that like to sample his musings. This is the first entry in Maki's music, not counting older music videos that I rendered in Source Filmmaker. Those may still be up on this channel, and I'm interested in returning to rendering in the future with Blender. My most favorite part of animating was playing with camera movements, so I often use pre-scripted dances. However, since I am more experienced now, I could explore using motion capture for the dance and still get to play with camera movement after the fact in Blender. The recent music video utilized the same text-to-speech software that I use for my voice, so it was not sampled from his recordings in the same way, and the music was generated with Udio, something I primarily use for background music. The past two videos were the first time I used that website's output as a feature rather than the background, so please let me know if it was in poor taste. If you wanted less of it, then I don't mind doing something else. Honestly, I listen to music while watching YouTube videos, so sometimes I prefer that no music is included for talking-focused productions. I will experiment with this video's inclusion of music, so it may only show up briefly, at least for the breaks that I like to put in the video. I take a lot of inspiration from video essays, especially Pretzel's video game tours. I added a green bar, much like theirs, to the break, so you know how long it will be. They also like to celebrate their interests centering around environmental design and game design. All right, a couple of tangents later, and we are here. This is the featured topic for today, Toontown. More accurately, my history with it, and possibly your future, should you choose to check it out. Toontown is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game created by Disney in 2003 and ran until 2013. I played it during the last few of those years, and it was subscription-based. The environmental design was based off of the theme parks, both California and Japan. The color palette is extremely bright and uses curves to break up most 90-degree angles that we expect from buildings and decorations, making them feel bouncy and surreal. The game and parks featured tunes that you may know from their comics and animations, like Goofy, Donald Duck, Daisy Duck, and the iconic Mickey and Minnie Mouse. They each have a neighborhood in the game called Playgrounds, and there are more characters from Mickey's era, like Clarabelle Cow, sprinkled in the game as interactable NPCs. In the real world, the California Toontown Park received a refresh and reimagining in early 2022, and there's even a new ride. I am dying to go, though my fear of crowds is a hard one to overcome. The last time I was at Disneyland was very challenging and became one of the reasons that crowds are so hard for me. However, you may be wondering, what about the game? Well, yes, it closed officially. However, there are fan servers still hosting the game. There are two major versions with two different approaches. The first is Toontown Rewritten, and it is a very faithful recreation. It left most everything intact, save for a few bugs that they fix along the way. That playstyle and story was nostalgic to return to, as I remember it dearly with my own hours of my childhood spent grinding the game. The other major fan version is Corporate Clash. They have completely remade the leveling style and new content is added. New cogs, new gags, new playgrounds, even a new HQ to raid. They have new cosmetics that any Toon can wear, since they remove gender and just let people choose if they have eyelashes or not. It's ironic to think that the eyelashes were the main distinction anyway, so no need to gender lock clothes. The base models are the same, so the clothes would fit. That brings me to one of my biggest memories of Toontown. It's the reason that I like skirts so much. It was the first time in a game that I encountered the character creation menu. Oh, and I can still lose hours to a good character creation menu in games. I love crafting characters. But Toontown didn't have many options, and the skirts were exclusive to those who chose female during character creation. I loved wearing skirts and buying new ones with jelly beans, the in-game currency. This video can go on for a very long time, and I shall let it for a bit more. You see, I pick up ToonTown Rewritten or Corporate Clash every so often, sometimes with a childhood friend that I played it with back in the day. My more recent hyperfixation is Disney Dreamlight Valley. Let's talk about that now. I'll show off my character, talk about the game mechanics, similarities with Toontown, and my future plans with it. Disney Dreamlight Valley is a game similar to Animal Crossing. New Horizons, where the villagers are various Disney and Pixar characters. It centers around 7 main activities and fetch quests. The activities are farming, fishing, foraging, digging, mining, crafting, and cooking, and the Rift in Time expansion adds time bending. There is also taking photos, which is required for some quests, but also just a diegetic way to screenshot. Villagers will pose for the photos when they notice you taking a selfie, so I do think that sets it apart. Another activity, and my favorite, is shopping. It is also required in some quests, though you usually are allowed to fetch gems instead. I see hints of Toontown Online in this game. While there is no main opposing force like the cogs in Toontown Online, there is a consistent storyline with the forgetting in Disney Dreamlight Valley. The fetch quests are as tried and true as you can get, each one a little packet of information for the overall plot. It could also be a fun aside that the writers made for the characters to interact with each other. If you played Toontown, or Dreamlight Valley for that matter, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. There is a lot of customization in the game, as you are allowed to decorate the valley with various furnishings. Whether you purchased it from Scrooge's shop, designed it yourself in Daisy's boutique, unlocked it, or added natural landscaping elements for free. My goal in this game is to recreate Toontown. Here's a miniature version I made early on, as I immediately figured out how many iconic characters are shared in common between the two games. Since the older game had separated neighborhoods by streets connecting the playgrounds, I believed that I could use each biome as a different area of my play pretend recreation. It won't be perfect, and I'll need to stock up on a whole bunch of decorations, but I've been doing some farming. Just a bit of farming. So I am able to buy out the daily rotating stock at Scrooge's shop and hopefully stock up on enough to make it work. I keep each region mostly clean, but hopefully that will be able to change once I collect a diverse nest egg of furnishings. However, they keep adding more to the game, so it's nice to see more characters and new mechanics like Daisy's boutique. I'll end this video with a promise for more. If I get around to it, I will release a video dedicated to Disney Dreamlight Valley. I have quite the musings about it, especially if I finish my mega project. I could also make videos of iterative updates on it so it doesn't suffer scope creep like the My Little Pony video did. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers and I love you.